It's that time of year again. Escape from Tarkov is wiped. We've got loads of new content. Everything's been reset. And we're all back down to just level 1 traders. In this video, we're going to take a look at exactly what's available from each of the level 1 traders, my key picks in terms of weapons, and I'll apologize in advance. I'm still full of a cold, but I will be streaming on Twitch and we have drops over the coming few days. So come and check out the stream. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let's get into exactly what is available from level 1 traders. Okay, so starting off with 9mm. If you're a Burr, you start off with a bunch of PST ammo. And if you're a USEC, you start off with a bunch of M882. Now, the weapons I think are useful as far as 9mm goes are the MP5, which you get a few MP5s as a USEC to start with. And they only come with a 20-round mag. However, you can purchase the 30-round mags from level 1 Peacekeeper. If you do start as USEC, then go ahead and swap out the 20-rounders for the 30-rounders. Okay, so on the modding screen here, you can attach this rail mount. This rail mount is available from level 1 Peacekeeper. $66, and that will allow you then to attach your optic of choice. For me, this offers the best TTK in 9mm, really high fire rate. 9mm is more effective when shooting the face, so try and aim for the head. But yeah, MP5 is probably my #1 choice as far as 9mm goes. Another viable option is the PP19, which is available at level 1 Prapper. This comes with 30-round mags as standard. It allows you to pop a sight up above. You can keep the original mount, and instead you can pop on the EKP. Using the EKP. If you're using the EKP, always use the Cobra. You can use the PSO scope. If you want a little bit of range, a bit of a Frankenstein of a thing, the PP19 is pretty useful. One of the options that many have recommended is the Uzi. It's not for me personally. I think the rate of fire is too slow, and I just haven't got along with it whenever I have come up against PMCs. So not one for me, but certainly one for others to think about. Now, 545 is particularly useful because, one, you find lots of 545 rounds in raid, and a lot of those rounds are of a pretty decent penetration. I mean, you don't always have to aim for the head. You can get by shooting thorax, especially when people are running lower tier armors. For me, there's only one weapon I can recommend at level 1, and that would be this AKS-74 UB. It's available from Prapper at level 1, although you do have to complete the quest debut in order to unlock the suppressed variant. This for me is the only option, and the reason it's the only option, it comes with 30-round mags. You can change out the rail. You can also change out this handguard. You can add on a foregrip. You can add on a laser. This really is the most modifiable weapon in Tarkov from level 1. The build that you can achieve, and I've done a build on this video, I've done a video on this build previously, that is available level 1. Fully kitted. This is probably the go-to for most people early wipe. Good old 5.56. Well, it's useful and it definitely has a place, and it's something that I have been using a fair bit. However, I cannot recommend going and purchasing a 5.56 weapon at level 1. The AUG is an option. It's not something that I have used at all this wipe. I have used it previously, but I just feel there are better options this wipe than running the AUG. If you're a USEC, you start with an M4, and you can modify the M4 to make it usable. If you want me to do a video on how to modify the M4 and make it usable early wipe, drop me a comment down below. I'll look maybe do a video on modifying the M4 for level 1 traders, and also moving up to just general early wipe M4 modifications. So maybe look at that. That's about all I have to offer in 5.56 is the AUG, and not something I would recommend. Okay, 7.62. Bit of a controversial one, this, because I tend to only run 7.62 if I have PF. And the reason for that is, for me, 7.62 is the best mid-range caliber early wipe. However, if you don't have PS, FMJ is not too bad, but PS is a big step up. Now, if you have PS, I would recommend going and getting yourself an OPSKS, available from Jaeger level 1. You do need to have unlocked Jaeger. If you don't know how to unlock Jaeger, I will leave a link to video in the top right hand corner. Once you've unlocked Jaeger, you can pick up the OPSKS from him. Now, if we're to edit this, you can put a PSO scope on top. Using the dovetail mount, we have something that you can use at range. You can also use the EKP, and again, if you're using the EKP, always use the iCut. This is very useful. SKS is actually a very good choice. Like I say, if you've got some PS, it's fantastic. You've got some FMJ, it's okay. PS really does make this thing work very well indeed. So 366. Now this caliber is pretty useful. It's got good penetration, it's got high damage, and it's probably the unsung hero of early white. So you have the 215, which is a fantastic bolt action. I've been using this a lot this wipe just to go and farm rogues, and that definitely does the job. Over 100 meters, this thing is very inconsistent. The MOA says it's a 1.55. It feels like it's a 10 outside of 100 meters. This thing seems to just drop off a cliff over 100 meters. But within 100 meters, this is a very capable bolt action. Okay, so as far as the 209 goes, make sure that you take off this front sight and you swap out the rear for the Bastion. You can pop a charging handle on there as well. And the unique thing about this is it can be suppressed. So you have the ability to run a number of different options. You can pop a rail on, so you can use any of the optics which come and can be mounted by rail. Now, before we move on to attachments, I have to mention the UMP. This isn't available for rubles, it is barter only, but the good thing about this barter is that Fence has loads of these 2 different melee weapons. You need 4 of the knives, 1 of the bayonet. Now all we really need to do is head over to Fence and take a look at what melee options we have. There's 429 of the knives and there's 24 bayonet. This, fantastic. 4 of those cost you 18k. 1 of those costs you 5k. Head on back over to Peacekeeper. We simply buy this. 25k. Cannot complain at all. UMP, probably the best weapon. The best all-round. It's up there with the MP5. The MP5 probably is the best. This is up there because, again, just using level 1 traders, you can add a sight to the top. You can add a foregrip, which because of the preset menu you can't see the foregrip I'm trying to use. You can get that foregrip from Skier, and you can use the blue laser from Skier as well. UMP, really underrated and slept on option for level 1 traders. Okay, starting with Prapor, you have the EKP sight. If you're using this sight, always also use this sight shade. Gives you back the 3 ergo that you lose. This is using a dovetail mount, so this attaches to any of the AKs which have a dovetail mount. There is also a version of this scope which can be attached to a rail, which we will cover off as we go through the different traders. Now, what does Skier have to offer in the department of sights and attachments? You have the fast fire, which you don't often see this in the configurator. It does require a base as well. Both of these are available level 1. So go ahead, go and use this. It's available. I recommend you go and use this. It's the best red dot in my opinion. There are some other options at level 1. You've got the MRS. It's okay. It's not the best, but it's there. I prefer the Fast Fire 3 personally. That's about all we have to offer from Skier. Or I should mention, you can get a foregrip from Skier, so you can always mount this foregrip, and you can also get the blue laser, so you can always add blue laser. We did mention the Bastion does cover, so if you're running AKs, you're running 209s, anything of that nature, this is the rail to run if you're looking to add optics. And the suppressor for any 366 weapon, whether that be the 215 bolt action or the 209, this is available also from Skier level 1. So Peacekeeper level 1, what do we have to offer here? Been through this already, so that's an option. Don't think there's a great deal to pick out from Peacekeeper Level 1. You can think of any must-use attachment from Peacekeeper Level 1, drop it in the comments, because nothing springs to mind whilst recording this video. Mechanic Level 1. Some barters, stuff like this, this suppressor is, you know, it's a useful barter, but is there anything available for Ruble that you're going to use? This handguard, certainly an option. If you're looking to do the AK-74U and modify that, change the front handguard. Realistically though, this is great, but you have to complete Gunsmith Part 1. This allows you to run a stock M4. So again, if you do want me to do a M4 video, early mods for M4s, drop a comment down below. We'll look to include that if enough people ask for it. Now, Jaeger gives you the EKP, which you can mount on a rail. Fantastic. PK06, which was an old staple, not as good as it used to be, but it does a job. And you have the target ring, which you can mount on your shotguns for an option there to run a sight on early shotgun builds. That's definitely an option to consider. The dovetail mount is huge, really important if you want to run a PSO scope, that kind of thing. And the sight that I've been using a lot this wipe, it's not great. It's very poor, but it does a job and it's helped me farm some rogues. That's definitely a way to get yourself some early gear this wipe for sure. This along with the associated ring mount. This I've been using a hell of a lot. I'm probably the better of the well, one of the only options really to run as far as ranged scopes are concerned. Ref doesn't have any weapon attachments, but there's definitely some stuff going on with RAF. Get yourself an arena, get yourself some GP coins. I've got a lot to talk about when it comes to RAF, so keep tuned, make sure you're subscribed. See you in the next one.